Let's look at the tactical approach of Mamelodi Sundowns as they beat Orlando Pirates by 4-1. Actually, Pirates realized that this was a problem. In the beginning of second half, they actually came up with a strategy that was working for them until it stopped working because Sundowns saw that and then they adapted. So we're going to look at that. We won't look at the defensive side though, but if you guys are interested in how that worked for Mamelodi Sundowns, which by the way led to them scoring and the first goal, the very first goal, and the second goal, then we're going to show you that. But you guys will tell me if you want to see that in the comment section and by the number of likes. Let's just say 500 likes. Now, let's look at the problem. So, if you look at this, Mamelodi Sundowns are building up. You have Suarez on the ball, and look at how many Sundowns players are there. 7 players if I include Ronwen Williams. 7 players in build-up. And how many Orlando Pirates players are there? You only have 4. Now, that's a problem because already there is numerical advantage when Sundowns are building out from the back. So, Mamelodi Sundowns were then able to progress the ball in different ways. But another thing that I want you to notice here is that in the first 2 minutes, Mamelodi Sundowns were trying to be direct and were trying to catch Orlando Pirates off guard, as you're about to see. So, this is like the first minute, and Mamelodi Sundowns, whenever they were getting the ball, they are trying to play it long and catch Pirates off guard. And you see this in the first 2 minutes. I literally watched it back and continued to see that they were getting the ball, and yes, the press was there, but they were just trying to go direct. And you see once again, this is still like within 1 minute 45 seconds. The ball is played long. Now Sundowns are in behind, and then that's what they were trying to do. Be more direct and try to get opportunities. And actually, if they were more clinical, they could have done better in this regard. Once again, it's still within the first 3 minutes. What are Sundowns doing? They're able to progress the ball, but then Pirates were also not that bad in pressing. Then Sundowns, this is when they changed their tactic. As you can see in the graphic, I say the match was then slowed down by Mamelodi Sundowns. So upon realizing that, hey, Pirates they've actually caught on to what we've been trying to do, which is catch them off guard. Now, let's slow the game down. So they start playing the game, and now you see they start to have a bit more passes in their strategy. They are playing the ball more from one end of the pitch to another. They were able to string on passes, switch the play, and if there is no pass that's going forward, they were then able to just say, we're going to play the ball back and start afresh and invite Pirates to come and press us. And then if there are opportunities, then go forward. But they were not rushing or trying to penetrate at all times. And then here's the thing. This is now the important thing that I was talking about. Sundowns saw that Pirates were pressing them in that 4-4-2. You see that the front two, really the 10 of Orlando Pirates, Umaswanganyi and Umahopa, were the ones who were pressing the head of the spear, if you will, of the 4-4-2. And then the 4 behind them were pressing them. So Sundowns, what did they do? They utilized the comfortability of Ronwen Williams on the ball by playing with the back three when building out from the back. So Pirates are blocking the balls into the middle, and in that blocking the players that are behind them. But the problem is Sundowns now have 3 players at the back. So who are they going to mark and who are they not going to mark? So Sundowns now were able to just play the ball, and that forced one of the 2 people who were pressing to go wide and press. And the moment that happened, Ronwen Williams plays the ball to the left side, and that means the other one has to go and press. And then now you see that there is a space now that is open between the 2, and now Sundowns are able to start playing balls like this. Now this is a secondary problem. Once the first line of pressure has been beaten, which is the first 2 people who are there, now you see the 2 Pirates players that I've highlighted. They also can engage in pressing the 2 pivots of Mamelodi Sundowns, right? Why can they do that? Because right next to them, there is a situation. There is one Uripero right behind them, and there is also, in this case, I forgot to see clearly. Sometimes it would be Mkwena pushing up, sometimes it would be Allende, but Allende and Mkwena in this case were the ones who were deeper. This time it was Ribeiro and Adams who were just making sure that they are occupying the double pivots of Orlando Pirates, which was Udlamini no Makaula. So now they had a decision to make. Do we push up and press these 2, in which case then we leave Ribeiro, the most dangerous man in the pitch, on the day, alone? So now they had a very difficult situation to deal with. So then you'd find that the double pivots of Sundowns would receive the ball freely and start playing passes like this, and gave opportunities. So you see, once again, if Sundowns plays the ball long and then they play the ball into the middle, no one is pressing them, and now they're able to then switch the ball because no one was pressing. If Sundowns do play the ball long again because who's this guy? Ushalulile was on the left, Van Rooyen was able to deal with him. Now, obviously, I did not show the goals in the first half because they did not come as a result of this. But this was giving Orlando Pirates a lot of problems because Sundowns were also pressing from this shape, which was giving Pirates problems. So in the second half, Pirates then decided to change tactic. So now, do you see who that is? That is Hoto on the left side of the pitch, not on the right side of the pitch where he was playing second half. Okay, maybe Mpilo, they swapped sides with Mfukeng. No, actually they didn't, because Mfukeng was also on the left. Okay, that's interesting. Now, who is that guy? That is Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen now is left on the right alone to be the one who is pushing up. Remember, I said to Shalulile on the left-hand side, whenever the ball was played to him, Van Rooyen was able to deal with him. So they were now like, okay, Ushalulile is not that much of a problem, so Van Rooyen, you have that side to deal with, because Umotiba, what he would do, actually, he would invert into midfield at times. So then the width on the left was not that much of a problem. But the side that they worried about is this side, the right side where Ribeiro was. So that is why now you have Hoto and Mfukeng actually being on that side, overloading that side, not allowing Sundowns to do anything on that side, and leaving Van Rooyen to do everything by himself on that right hand side. Now, how does this help them? Obviously it helps them in this case because now you have Omar Kaula. You remember I said that they couldn't press the double pivots of Mamelodi Sundowns, Umkoena no Allende, but now since there is someone who's pressing those guys, that means now they can be more active in pressing Ribeiro and having those 2 against 1 moments like so. As you can see, they're able to turn over the ball and start attacking Sundowns. And as you can also see now, instead of having those 4 people pressing or 4 people up front that they commit forward, you see now they have they have 6 players up front versus Sundowns who have 6 as well. So now, is it 6? It's 7 actually, but still it's more numbers than they had in the first half. Now, what then would happen is that Pirates, initially, this press of theirs worked with Van Rooyen. But then Sundowns realized that Mfana Lowaga Van Rooyen was actually on his own. They would then try and play the ball long, and then Abosbisi would come across and cover for him. Brothers, this should have been a warning to Pirates that they will try and attack that left-hand side, because the first time they were doing it in the first half, Van Rooyen was dealing with it. But second half, they start doing it as early as, let's see the time, as the 49th minute. It was a warning. But then there are, what do you call it? There are trade-offs in tactics. You win some, you lose some. And you are about to see that Pirates were about to win some with this. It was working with their press, but it also worked in terms of getting them a goal. Because as you're about to see, Pirates now have the ball and they're attacking on the left-hand side, and they're playing across, and they have numbers in the box. And you see them in the structure again. They are pressing. You see that they are pressing and forcing Sundowns back. And now you see how many Pirates players are pressing. They actually have 5. You look at Sundowns in that deeper area, they have 5 if you count the keeper. So now they are matching them in terms of numbers by bringing Murele, no Hoto onto one side. So this was kind of working at this point, and they were winning the ball in areas like this where they could then be problematic to them. But then, to even show that this thing could get better, now you see Pirates, they start playing the ball in this case, and as you will see as well as the clip continues, you have once again Tito receiving the ball behind the lines, and then between the lines rather, and then you have Hoto now who's on the left, but you still have Mfukeng there who's now giving trouble to Sundowns defenders. So now they've overloaded the left hand side and they're forcing Sundowns to commit, but also what they're allowing themselves by being on one side, Mfukeng, Hoto specifically, they're also allowing themselves to play these 1-2s because they are closer to each other rather than just having a front three. But you're having these wingers, or rather Mfukeng now being a 10, playing closer to Hoto and Umaswangang as well, combining in a very good way. So now what is happening? You have Hoto combining 1-2. A 1-2 is played to him by Mahopa, hits the ball, it deflects, and then the goal goes in. And this is a point where it's like, oh, it's game on. But Sundowns had other ideas, because just after this happens, Pirates again, they go, as you can see, Uhoto is here down bottom of the screen. You can see Mfukeng, he's still on the left. The ball is played on the left. You see Van Rooyen, as I said earlier on, he was now not worried about Shalulile. His main concern was now to go and press as high as possible. Now in him doing that, he has vacated that space, as I showed earlier on. He has vacated the space behind him, and Suarez has identified that he did it the first time around, and now he's doing the second time around, which proves that that was not just a mere clearance, but it was actually targeting that pass. And look who's here now. It's no longer Shalulile, but they've actually swapped sides and they've put Reyners to be in there, and then he plays that 1-2, and then they're able to score that goal. But they were not done there, because they'd identified the problem in that area, and now they're once again trying to attack that space. Defenders are out of position and they get a chance, but in this case, they were not able to capitalize on it. And then another opportunity. You see where Van Rooyen is? Yes, that's his starting position. Might recover, but his starting position is clearly very high. Shalulile is still on the right, because they've realized that, hey, if we put Shalulile on the right and we attack the left side, where they've basically removed Van Rooyen, who was busy marking Shalulile, we have better chances with Reyners. Now you see again Hoto and Mfukeng being on the left hand side, and now what do? The ball is played across and it's switched to the left hand side. And Pirates, in this case, they win the ball back, but they're still trying to play and be aggressive. But in them trying to be aggressive, they leave that space. Sundowns gets that opportunity. Now, there is that chance again. Where's Van Rooyen? Nowhere to be seen, because he's higher up, trying to press. But in them doing that, and Abo Mfukeng, Hoto being further up the field, now Sundowns are just receiving the ball in the middle on their own, and the ball can be passed to Mkwena, and Mkwena can take a shot from that position. 4-1 to Mamelodi Sundowns. So you can clearly see that whatever the reason that Rivero decided to put those two on the left hand side was to, one, overload that side in when they have the ball, like how they got the goal, and then be able to play 1-2s. But also, if you are playing Hoto on the left, you are also giving Umako to say you can stay. Hoto will be the one to overlap, but it will also be there to help you defend against Rivero, right? But at the same time, you are also saying, since we're not worried about the right hand side that had Shalulile, might as well commit the Van Rooyen further forward and make sure that you win the ball earlier on in the game. But then Sundowns, with the quality that they have, they were able to read that with their coach as well, and then exploit that weakness. But what do you guys think? And do you want to see that other part of the video, the defensive part? Do let me know down in the comment section below, and by liking the video and reaching 500 likes. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.